News 46, local coverage you can count on.
At Healthcare Partners Medical Group, our mission is to provide the highest quality of healthcare to each and every patient. With 5 locations in Pahrump, we are local doctors you know and trust. We want to thank you for choosing us. Quality care starts here.
News 46 is brought to you by Healthcare Partners and Humana. News is also brought to you by Barry Levinson and Associates, Pahrump's Bankruptcy Center. When it comes to important matters like bankruptcy, call an experienced, compassionate attorney. Call the Bankruptcy Center of Pahrump. Call 775-727-4747. News is also brought to you by Tire Works Total Car Care, not your typical tire and service company. Guaranteed lowest prices on tires. Your one-stop shop for all automotive needs. Call 775-751-6100 or 702-365-TIRE.
Tonight on News 46, Nevada Highway Patrol releases details of a fatal accident.
Daniel Robbins' own recognizance release request is denied again.
And the Pahrump Valley Historical Museum celebrates 10 years. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Rick Vale and Rhonda Van Winkle. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell and news across Nevada with Janet Eric. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening, it's Wednesday, November 2nd, 2011. I'm Rick Vale.
And I'm Rhonda Van Winkle for News 46. Details have been released from the Nevada Highway Patrol regarding the fatal accident that occurred on Halloween night on Highway 160 and Basin.
Tonight's accident report is brought to you by Stovall & Associates. Don't expect insurance companies to have your best interest in mind. Stovall & Associates cares. Let us help you if you have been involved in an accident.
Nevada Highway Patrol has issued an official press release regarding the Halloween night fatal accident on Highway 160 and Basin. According to the report, a brown 1998 Jeep SUV was traveling northbound on State Route Highway 160 in the left turn lane, approaching the intersection of Basin Avenue, when a red 2008 Harley-Davidson motorcycle driven by 32-year-old Ivan P. David of Henderson, Nevada, was traveling southbound on State Route 160 in the left travel lane, approaching the intersection of Basin Avenue. The Jeep SUV entered the intersection, making a left-hand turn onto westbound Basin as the Harley-Davidson motorcycle entered the intersection. The front of the Jeep SUV was struck by the Harley-Davidson motorcycle's front and left side. Ivan P. David and his 23-year-old female passenger were ejected from the motorcycle as it traveled southbound. Ivan P. David was transported to Desert View Hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries he sustained in the collision. The passenger on the motorcycle was also transported to Desert View Hospital, where she remains hospitalized. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
Well, 46-year-old murder suspect Daniel Robbins once again was denied his request for an own recognizance release by Judge Kimberly Wonker. Robbins' attorney asked for him to be released on the basis that he is not a flight risk and that he has lived in this community since 2005 and in Nevada for 24 years. He also stated that he worked for the United Coin Company and the Gaming Control Board, where he was classified as a peace officer. Deputy District Attorney Wes White argued against Robbins' release, who is not only charged with murder in the shooting, but for the battery as well, since the bullet that went through Mundy's neck also hit Christopher's 14-year-old friend in the elbow, who was sitting next to him in the car. The boy is said to have permanent damage to his arm. According to reports, Robbins had fired a warning shot into Mundy's vehicle before walking closer to the vehicle and allegedly firing the fatal shot at point-blank range. Judge Wonker denied any sort of bail or release and added comments that the man was out of control. She also stated that there is no evidence that Robbins is capable of controlling himself under stress if he was released.
Just a really sad story all the way around, and a 21-year-old boy lost his life. Well, a published report by Roll Call newspaper has found that Congress' combined net worth is just over $2 billion, a 25% increase over what the paper found in 2008. According to the paper, Democratic Nevada Congresswoman Shelley Berkeley ranks as the 36th richest member with an estimated net worth of $9.29 million. The top three richest members were Republican Michael McCaul from Texas, Republican Darrell Issa from California, and Democratic Senator John Kerry of Massachusetts. 19 of the top 50 were Democrats, worth a total of $706 million, and 31 of the top 50 were Republicans, worth $919 million total.
That is a lot of change.
It is.
Folks, 24-year-old Brandon O'Connor was given a life sentence with possible parole after 10 years in the 2009 murder of 20-year-old Jeremy Fry. Fry's body was found burned, stabbed, and shot in the head in the desert off Atkinson Street. Nye County sheriffs were alerted when Jeremy's father called police to report that his son was missing. Detectives were able to connect O'Connor to the case, in which he eventually confessed to the killing and admitted that the motive was drug-related.
And a minor two-vehicle accident this afternoon on Calvada sent the woman to Desert View Hospital.
A minor two-vehicle accident this afternoon at Blagg and Calvada. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene along with Nye County Sheriff's deputies who blocked traffic in all directions during the investigation of this accident, which required one woman with a local plate here to be transported to Desert View Hospital. The other vehicle had no occupants that claimed injury. Nye County Sheriff's deputies are investigating the cause of this accident. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Blagg and Calvada for News 46.
And folks, we're going to have much more local news coming up for you right after this short break, so please keep it here.
News 46 is brought to you by Southwest Medical Associates. Their healthcare center is now open in your neighborhood. Southwest Medical Associates. Now that's powerful medicine.
Welcome back to News 46. The Half in 10 campaign released a landmark report contrasting the number of struggling families in today's economy with comprehensive data on the challenges we face in creating enough decent jobs, supplying sufficient and affordable housing units, and other fundamental supports to ensure pathways out of poverty for millions of Americans.
The report, Restoring Shared Prosperity, Strategies to Cut Poverty and Expand Economic Growth, establishes the baseline for Half in 10's goal of cutting poverty in half in 10 years and starts the clock on meeting the target nationally and in every state across the country, including Nevada, where the poverty rate stands at 14.9% compared to the 15.1% national rate, and the 2010 unemployment rate was 14.9%. The report also outlines a path for policymakers to reverse these troubling trends and rebuild the middle class. The baseline incorporates a set of indicators that measure how well the nation is doing in creating good jobs, strengthening families, and promoting economic security. The report ranks states according to these indicators, and the accompanying website emphasizes the state's bottom-ranking data to focus attention on areas for improvement. Nevada's bottom indicators were their high school graduation rate, the unemployment rate, and the uninsured rate. In Nevada, the percentage of employees with paid sick leave is 53% compared to the 58% national average. Our state's high school graduation rate is 51.3% compared to the 74.7% national average. The percentage of young adults ages 25 to 34 with an associate's degree or higher is 27.4% compared to the 37.5% national average. The wage gap between male and female workers in Nevada is 82.8 cents earned by a woman for every dollar earned by a man doing the same job, as compared to the 78.5 cents on the dollar for the national rate. The percentage of the state's population living without health insurance is 22.6% compared to the 16.3% national rate. The number of births by teenagers, 53.5 births per 1,000 compared to the 41.5 births per 1,000 at the national level. The number of children living in foster care in the state of Nevada, 4,806. The percentage of households that are struggling with hunger, food insecurity rate, is 14.7% compared to the 14.5% national rate. The percentage of unemployed workers receiving unemployment insurance, 63.1% compared to the 66.1% national rate. And the percentage of unbanked people without checking or savings account, 6.9% compared to the 7.7% national rate. It's important to note that no state ranks in the bottom or top 5 in all indicators, which means that every state has some areas to improve in, providing pathways out of poverty and greater opportunity for all. The report pairs familiar data on the unemployment crisis with comprehensive information on job quality. It tracks data on the number of workers without paid sick leave, retirement benefits, and family supporting wages to give more complete picture of the working poor and workers barely hanging on to the bottom rungs of the middle class. The report also contains new analysis about the effect of multiple incomes on family poverty, highlighting a unique perspective by focusing on the number of earners rather than married versus single status. Overall, the report connects information on the number of people struggling to move out of poverty with levers to increase opportunities such as more good jobs, access to financial institutions to save for the future, and affordable housing, to name a few. Going forward, the campaign will compare next year's data to this year's baseline, tracking our progress in restoring shared prosperity and rebuilding the middle class. For more information, you can go to halfin10.com. I'm Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
And 31-year-old James Wesley Adams pled guilty to a felony charge related to his August 1st arrest for numerous child pornography charges. He could face life in prison and a $100,000 fine. According to the report, Adams was living with a woman and her daughter on White Street. The young woman was showering on July 31st when she said she saw fingers come through a hole in the bathroom floor. When police were called to the home, detectives found multiple pieces of video equipment in the crawl space beneath the home's bathroom. A subsequent search of Adams' mother's home on McMurray Drive led to 144 VHS tapes interspliced with pornographic video recordings. Multiple still images were also located. He is scheduled to be sentenced on January 9th, 2012.
That is just scary, isn't it?
To no end.
That is just unbelievable. All right, now, well, the Pahrump Valley Historical Museum is celebrating its 10-year anniversary. They cut a ribbon on Saturday morning for the museum. We spoke to Phil Huff.
Welcome to the Pahrump Valley Museum and Historical Society 10th anniversary. We have some luminaries here that we'll introduce to you. We have a representative from the DAR, Mrs. Sepulveda. We have the Miss Senior Golden Years in Miss Nye County. We have Pam and Phil Ranieri here. Phil is our president. He's the president of our board of directors, and he kind of guides the museum along now after our luminary, Mr. Ford, has passed on. And his wife Pam is going to cut the ribbon for us. This we're calling our 10th anniversary of the museum. This building of the museum was dedicated on October 31st, 2003, and it's 8 years old. However, Nancy Ford, who's standing right here, used to run a museum in the Raycraft building that's in the back of the Tyrod building for visitors that wanted to visit. It was a very small offering, but at least it was an attempt to have a museum. So we're calling it our 10th anniversary, and we're going to cut the ribbon. We're going to ask Pam to do the duty. She dressed up in her finest. This is her, her ball gown. So give us a cut.
All right.
Thank you. Well, we're very proud of the fact that the museum has been here. The large building for 8 years, the little building 2 years before that, so we're calling our 10th anniversary. And we've had an enormous attendance during that time. We keep a very close track of our attendance. We have about half of the people from the town, and the other is evenly divided. About 25% are really from foreign countries, and another 25% from other states in the United States. They find our museum very nice. I don't think they're being overly complimentary, but I think that they're surprised to see such a nice museum in Pahrump, especially the Lincoln collection, which is so extraordinarily good for this kind of museum. We'd invite people that haven't seen it to come and see it. It's open on 6 days from Sunday through Saturday, or through Sunday. It's only closed on Monday, if I got that right. Monday closed, and it's open the other 6 days. 10 until 4, it's free. So come and see us.
And where are we located?
We're located on Basin Avenue between Highway 160 and Blag. There's a big flagpole. It's on the south side of the street. It's easy to find. Plenty of parking. Parking is free, of course. And so come and visit us.
For more information, they can call?
They can call to 751-1970.
And a short time after the ribbon cutting for the museum, participants moved over one door to welcome the new exhibit for Yucca Mountain with a ribbon cutting as well.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our ribbon cutting for the addition to the museum that houses the Yucca Mountain display. This is very important. It's history of the Nye County and Pahrump area. The display that's on here today is really brand new. And so we're dedicating the new addition to the museum. We've almost doubled the size of the original building, and we have this display in here. And to help us cut the ribbon today, we have a couple of beauties. We have Miss Golden Years, and we have Miss Nye County. She's the queen for 2002, her banner says, and 2011. Excuse me. 2 1s or 2. All right, and then we have a couple of commissioners here that are very, very involved in Yucca Mountain, and Mr. Hollis rushed home from Washington, D.C. to be here today. So our county commissioners are Gary Hollis and Dan Chinhoven, and they're very involved in the Yucca Mountain project, trying to keep it going. And I'm going to hand the microphone over to Gary Hollis.
Good morning. This grand opening is something that we've all on the county level been working for a long time. The artifacts in this museum came from the old visitor center when DOE wanted to scuttle the project. Nye County took over the ownership of all the artifacts at the visitor center, and we had them moved here, and we updated all the monitors and all the information so that it was up to date. Also, there is some material loaned to us by the Atomic Museum in Las Vegas, and Dr. Vogel has also have some of the artifacts that he's collected over his 35-year tenure at the test site in Yucca Mountain. I think this is a great day for Pahrump and Nye County, and let's cut the ribbon.
Oh, thank you. I'm really happy that we have this exhibit here. I'd encourage everybody to come out and take a look. There's great videos of how they drilled it, where all the nuclear waste would go up there, and there's a really great video on transportation. People have this idea that it's going to be transported in the back of a flatbed truck, and they're 55-gallon drums with ooze coming out. They're little ceramic pellets. They're in containers. When they go to move them, they're going to be put in a different container, and then when they get to the site, they're put in a third container. It really shows you how safe it is, and why I'm in favor of this project, and the amount of jobs it'll bring and the funds to this county are just unbelievable. So come on out and look at all the exhibits, and if you have any questions, call Gary, call myself, call one of the other commissioners. We'd be happy to talk to you and tell you why we support this.
And Commissioners Gary Hollis and Dan Schinhoffen gave an award at the Yucca Mountain exhibit.
Dan and I would like to give this award. It is with our great pleasure that we acknowledge your work, dedication, and hard work to the Pahrump Valley Museum. Without your activity and participation, we would not have achieved so great a goal. Nye County NWRPO to Dr. Michael Vogel.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
And I want to tell you, I mean, him and NWRPO staff worked very, very hard in getting these exhibits up and running. And, of course, Dr. Vogel was the iron fist behind it. So thank you, Doctor, and we appreciate all your hard work.
And the burn moratorium has been lifted. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue Chief Scott Lewis spoke to us about how to obtain a burn permit and have a safe, controlled burn.
The burn moratorium has been lifted, hasn't it?
It has, and it's already caused a number of brush fires throughout the area. One in particular, what initiated as a controlled burn quickly escaped the confines of the individual tending it, and it became a full-blown brush fire with a structure exposure to propane tanks, but it was quickly handled by the fire department, by the Engine 4 crew. But it reminds us that even though we've lifted the burn moratorium, to be extremely careful, make sure the conditions are right, make sure we call in and keep the garden hoses available so that in the event that it starts growing, that you can quickly control it.
How do people get a burn permit?
They need to just come into Station 1 at 300 North Highway 160. At the burn desk, they'll issue one of the permits after they show proof of ownership of the property and also show proof of insurance.
And this is required, isn't it, if you're burning?
It is, and one of the other big things that we're running into as far as our investigations of controlled burns is that people are burning on the property owned by others. You cannot do that. It has to be specifically on your property for your natural waste vegetation.
Exactly. You can't burn debris.
You can't burn debris or trash on the ground or anything like that. And we've run into that in several instances.
Because we do have a free dump site.
Exactly, and that's probably the best bet still, is to take your material. It could be recycled through their different mechanisms and mulched and things like that. So it's still the best way to go.
And we have some guidelines that we have to meet with the burn permits too as well.
You do, and that's why if you come into the fire station, we'll give you a complete list of the criteria for it's a Pahrump Town ordinance, and we'll give you all the information you need to know before you can burn.
Well, you know, it's been a little chilly lately, as far as my understanding anyway.
Where I was, it was really chilly.
Oh,
Because
yeah, you were way up north.
I was, all the way in Idaho, and on the way back last night in Utah, there was quite a bit of snow.
Oh, you had snow on the ground?
Yeah, around, I think it was just after Salt Lake City.
Well, I know we've got maybe some rain coming up, but I don't know if it gets cold enough. Who knows, right? Well, we'll find out shortly. We'll check in with Zach, who will have a look at our 7-day forecast right after the break.
News 46 Weather is brought to you by Healthcare Partners Medical Group, with 5 locations in Pahrump, local doctors and professional staff providing total care from infancy to seniors. News 46 Weather is also brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body. For more information, you can visit their website at nevadadairycouncil.org. News 46 Weather is also brought to you by Humana.
And welcome back to News 46. I'm Zach Fuentes here with your weather. Today we had sunny skies and our high was only at up to 63 degrees. Our winds came out of the east-northeast at 11 miles per hour and our gusts were at up to 26 miles per hour. And our pressure was at 30.28 and our UV index was at 2, which is very, very low for us. Our humidity was at 11% and our sunrise was at 7:07 a.m. Our record for today was 84 degrees back in 1937. Tonight looks like we're going to have some clear skies, a low of 43 degrees, and our winds will come out of the east-southeast at 9 miles per hour. Our gusts are only going to be at up to 7 miles per hour, and our humidity will be at 24%. The sunset looks like it's going to be at 5:48 p.m., and our record for tonight was very low, 28 degrees back in 1943. Tomorrow looks like we're going to have mostly sunny skies, possibly a few clouds out there, a high of 70 degrees, and our low to be at 51 degrees. Now the winds are going to come out of the south-southeast this time at 5 miles per hour, and our gusts are only going to be at up to 12 miles per hour. It won't be too windy. Our UV is going to be back to its normal thing for us this time of the year at 4 moderate, and our sunrise is going to be at 7:08 a.m. Our humidity at 16%. And for our 7-day forecast, Thursday, like I said, it looks like we're going to have some clouds out there, maybe not too badly. Friday, we might have a chance of some rain. We'll see how that goes, and some wind with gusts up to 37 miles per hour. Wind and rain isn't really my favorite thing. Saturday and Sunday, though, looks like it will be nice. Our highs are going to be in the 50s, but our lows are going to be pretty cool in the 30s and 40s. Monday looks like we'll have clouds again. Tuesday, sunny. Wednesday, clouds once again. Our overnight lows are pretty chilly in the 50s, going up to the 40s, even the 30s for a couple of days. And today's worst weather was in Weeping Water, Nebraska, where it was rainy. Back to you.
That weeping bottle.
Isn't that a little redundant, weeping water? I don't know.
Right?
And it does look like we are going to get some rain on Friday, but not quite enough for snow here, although Mount Charleston will probably get
I was wondering if Mount Charleston might, and I wonder if it'll be enough to get Lee Canyon going.
That would be fun.
I don't know.
Well, all right, folks, don't forget to check in with our friends over at Domino's Pizza to see what their November special is. Make sure when you call to mention that you heard it here on KPVM so you can get your deal.
That's right. So call 751-3030, ask for their November special, and mention us. Should be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for this edition of News 46. I'm Rick Vale.
I'm Rhonda Van Winkle.
From everyone up here on the hill at KPVM, we wish you a safe evening, and we'll see you here again tomorrow night. Till then, good night, Pahrump.
Good night.